friend who, every time he gets out of the drunk tank, looks back and says, it's a nothing place to visit, but a great place to leave. That's all right, Maggie. It wasn't funny when he said it either.
I know you.
Barnaby Jones, don't you remember?
Oh, yeah. The investigator from that insurance company. You're a real persistent man.
Even though you didn't answer my letters or grant me permission to visit you, there are no hard feelings. I thought I'd welcome you out and offer you a ride back to town.
Thanks, but a friend's picking me up.
Yes, Jane Marshall from the Farrell Advertising Agency. I have a slight acquaintance with your parole officer.
Get off my back, mister. I served my time almost a whole year out of my life.
Now, Maggie, I watched you at the trial, and underneath you seem like a fairly decent girl. I'd hate for you to wind up back in there.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I have no intention of breaking parole.
You know I'm talking about what happened before you were arrested on that hit-and-run charge.
I didn't see or answer you because I'm sick of saying it. I didn't have anything to do with robbing that check cashing place. And I don't know anything about that $400,000 those guys took. Satisfied?
And yet, the car that you drove at the time of the accident matches a car that was driven during the holdup.
My car looked like the one that witness identified.
Can I help you?
I'm sorry I'm late, Maggie, but I got caught in traffic.
Thanks.
You're playing a dangerous game, Maggie. I'm not the only one who thinks you know more about the missing money than you're telling. Anytime you want to come in out of the cold, give me a call.
Sure. I wouldn't lose too much time waiting by the phone if I were you.
Betty, I've just been reading over this Maggie Revell case again.
You know, if Barnaby comes back and catches you with your feet on his desk, you are going to be reading the want ads.
Tell you the truth, I think Barnaby's going about this all wrong.
Well, that's very interesting. I'm sure that Barnaby would really like to hear how you'd handle the case, J.R.
With finesse, my dear, with finesse. Now, look. Two men wearing ski masks take off in a car after having just robbed the Midtown checking company of $400,000. Minutes later, a cop spots Maggie Revell running through a light. She takes off, he gives chase, almost ends up in her killing a couple of people in a smash-up. And that's a really tough lady.
Or a pretty dumb one. The police officer didn't know that the car was involved in a holdup, or that she was apparently trying to find a place to get rid of it.
And she denies that her car was the holdup car. She says it was a look-alike, which is a bald-faced lie.
All right, so she's tough, dumb, and a liar.
And in love. Now, that's the key.
With one of the holdup men. And she took the jail sentence on the felony driving charge instead of the deal with the DA because she wouldn't betray her lover.
Right.
Well, J.R., you still haven't come up with anything that Barnaby hasn't suspected already.
Aha, we return to my premise. Now, Barnaby's leaning on Maggie isn't going to get her to talk.
Oh, I gather from that you have a better idea. Oh, that's right, you did say finesse, didn't you?
Right. Now, we know that Maggie is rooming with her friend Jane Marshall. Now, you see, if I was Barnaby, I'd get an apartment nearby, you know, kind of get close to her without her knowing who I am.
Hoping sooner or later she'd lead you to the boyfriend. That is very good, J.R. I mean, that's fantastic. What do you think, Barnaby?
Hi, boss.
I think that idea of yours of getting an apartment near Maggie's is a good one.
You see? See, the trouble is, Barnaby, she knows what you look like, though.
Oh, that's true. That's why Barnaby had me call Mr. Porter earlier this morning.
Who is Mr. Porter?
He's the manager of the apartment building where Maggie's staying. He's going to be expecting a Mr. J.R. Brown to come by later on this afternoon to look at an apartment.
Oh, no, listen, I really can't, Barnaby. I just finished a whole battery of law school exams. You know,
A couple of days in one of those swinging singles places is just what you need.
Well, to tell you the truth, I also have an afternoon tennis date with the dean's daughter, so it's
I'm sure you'll be able to finesse your way out of that, Jedediah.
And here's the address, JR.
Come on. Handsome young bachelor like yourself, spend the money. Take the penthouse. You won't regret it, believe me.
All right. All right. You trust me to pay you the rent when I get out of law school, and you got a deal.
Oh, to be born 20 years later. You're turning down hot and cold running girls.
Look, what have you got in the way of a furnished single?
Well, you may be in luck. What floor do you want?
Have you got anything on their floor?
Yeah, I think maybe I do.
Who are they, do you know?
The one in black is Jane Marshall. She's lived here about 3 years. The other one I've never seen before. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. All right. Right this way.
And this jacket will go with everything, right?
Oh, yeah, perfectly. Hey, hitting all those shops was worth it.
Yeah. A definite improvement over my simple prison smock. Oh! You got my sanity project.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really wasn't looking through your things.
No, that's okay. That Tiger and I are very close. I'd work on him when things got really bad. I think I'd have gone crazy if I'd finished him before I'd got out.
Do you want to talk about it?
After you come back from New York, okay?
Okay. I just wish I didn't have to go so soon, though. I mean, we could have some fun together.
Yeah. It's probably a good idea for me to be by myself for a while, so I can get used to it.
Yes? Oh, yeah, tell him I'll be right out. Well, my taxi's here.
I still don't see why I can't drive you.
Oh, no, relax, will you? It all goes on the old expense account. Oh. Hey, Maggie, you consider this place yours for the next week. Yeah, use the car if you want to.
Oh, thank you for everything.
Okay.
Just for that, I'll carry the big one.
Very good. I will check on the phone company for you right away.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, Jane, I want you to meet your new neighbor, J.R. Brown.
Hi, Jane.
Hello. Oh, this is Maggie Ravel. Maggie, Herb Porter. He manages the building.
And I also help pretty lovelies with their luggage. Where are you off to this time?
New York. Maggie's gonna stay here while I'm gone. Well, it was nice to meet you, J.R.
Thank you. Have a nice trip.
Okay. Bye, Maggie.
Bye-bye.
Maggie, looks like the two of us are going to be neighbors, huh?
Looks like it. See you around.
Yeah. See you around.
Wyatt! What? What? What are you doing here? Jack isn't here, is he? Did he send you?
Come on, Maggie, get off it. You know why I'm here.
I swear I didn't know that Jack ran out on you. How could I? He never came to see me. He never wrote.
Maggie, if you're lying to me, I'm gonna break your legs.
No. Honestly. Besides, I still don't believe that he would do something like that.
Well, he did. When you didn't come back from dumping that car, he said he was going out looking for you.
That's the last I saw of him, or the 400,000.
And you thought I was in on it with him.
You two had big plans. You know, getting married and everything. You know how to get in touch with him. Come on, you must have had something worked out in case anything went wrong.
Maybe I can call a friend. Listen, I'm not sure.
Well, maybe he'll get in touch with you. Either way, tell him I'm gonna get my share, or you're one dead lady.
What?
Just tell him.
Hey, hi. You know, when you said see you around, I had no idea it would be this soon.
What do you want?
Just want to be friendly.
Listen, go be friendly with somebody else. I'm not in the mood for it right now, okay?
Barnaby Jones, Investigations. May I help you?
Benny, it's JR. Is Barnaby there?
Hold on, JR. Barnaby.
Jedediah?
Barnaby, Maggie just met a guy down in the garage. Now, I couldn't really hear their conversation, but whatever he said really upset her.
Did you get a good look at him?
Not really, but I got his license number here. It's California plate 332 OVS.
Well, check it out. How you doing so far?
Well, so far not good, but don't worry, you know, it only takes one good swing to hit a home run.
Did you see her?
She claims she doesn't even know that Jack split on me.
Well, maybe she's telling the truth.
What do you know? You weren't even around then.
Okay, so now what?
Jack was really hung up on her. So he'll be coming here to see her. Or he's gonna tell her how to get to him. All we have to do is stay real close to her.
Meaning me.
She doesn't know you. Neither does Jack. Look, buddy, you want a piece of that loot? You're gonna have to work for it.
All right.
Look, I'm a guy, you're a pretty lady, I'm not gonna give up, so why don't we just be pals, okay?
Look, JR, I don't want to...
I know it's a little uncomfortable moving into a new building, but that's all right. You know, it just gives us something in common. Now, I don't know about you, but I just finished a horrendous law school exam, and I'd like to relax a little bit. So what do you say you and me do it together? You know, I mean, all this tap dancing, what is that? Just relax, kick back, go for a swim. What do you say? Give me your answer, yes or yes?
Yes. Give me a minute to change. You live over there?
Over there.
I'll knock on your door.
You're on the clock.
Okay.
You're out already.
Yeah. Hey, your little cousin's the original good behavior kid.
That's great, Maggie. I'm really happy for you.
That makes two of us. Listen, has Jack been keeping in touch with you?
Uh-huh. Just like you said he would. Last time was about 2 weeks ago from Salt Lake City. He said he was passing through.
He was that close he didn't drop by?
No, I guess he was busy.
Yeah. Did he give you a number, any place I could reach him?
No. But look, give me yours, and when he calls, I'll pass it on to him.
I'm in L.A. at Jane Marshall's place. 555-6137.
Got it.
Did he, mention any problem between him and Wyatt?
Problems? What kind of problems?
Never mind. Listen, tell him it's important, okay?
Sure.
I dropped the milk. Who called?
Maggie. She's out, Jack.
Well, we know it had to come.
She wanted to know if I'd heard about any problems between you and Wyatt.
Wyatt? That means he's been to see her already.
Jack, let's take off now. We could be in Canada tonight. She's kept quiet this long. She won't say anything.
Are you kidding? Sooner or later, she's gonna find out about us. And when she does, she won't be able to get to the cops fast enough. Now, there's only one way to handle it. She's a threat to us. As long as she's alive.
Well, this is the pool area. As you can see, we keep it well stocked.
Yeah, so I see.
Oh, that's a new one. Name's Maggie. Come on, I'll introduce you.
No, thank you. I'd rather do it my own way.
Ah, real artist, huh? Well, you've got your key, you have your parking space, and you already have your eye on one of our girls. I would say that you have moved in. Enjoy.
And then after Vietnam, came out here, went back to school, and that's it. That's it. You now know the whole story of my life.
Well, it's a lot more exciting than the story of Maggie Revelle from Alpine, Texas. Most exciting thing I ever did was to go to the state cheerleaders competition. Lost in the first round.
Oh, well, that's because I wasn't one of the judges. Come on. Was that it? That can't be the whole story of your life.
Yeah. That's it, JR. One big loser.
Oh, come on. What about the guys you used to date?
Well, where I'm from, there were always more cows than cowboys. No, I never had much luck with men.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to change all of that. You see, now how would you like to have dinner at some incredibly expensive restaurant tonight?
I would love it.
Me too, me too. Unfortunately, I'm on the outskirts of Top City here, so the choice is tacos and beer or a steak at my place.
Well, I have a better idea. Jane has a barbecue. Why don't we do it at my place?
Hey, I'm easy.
mine? Can you tell? I'm gonna go check. Hello?
Maggie, it's me. Maggie, is that you?
Yeah, it's me, Jack.
Been a long time. I missed you, honey. You all right?
That's right. Why, it was here this morning. Says you ran out on him.
Yeah, well, I didn't plan it. We got split up. I had the money. I started thinking about us and how we could use it.
He said he's gonna kill me if he doesn't get his share. Now, he means it, Jack. That's one of the reasons I called.
All right. Now, listen to me. You've got to be real careful. He's probably watching every move you make. Wait till 2 or 3 in the morning and then slip out. Catch any flight you can going out. When you land, call me. I'll meet you.
I'm not coming, Jack.
Look, baby, I can't take the chance of going there. You're going to have to.
No. I had a lot of time to think about us. You're no good for me, Jack.
Hey, now, wait a minute. We had a good thing going. We made plans.
I don't want to see you anymore, Jack. I made up my mind.
Now, Maggie, you've got to come. Look, I've been waiting over a year. I haven't spent any of the money.
No! I told you. It's over.
Maggie? You okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Jack, she's family. Now, there's got to be another way.
Not if we're going to have any kind of life together.
But knowing it was you who did it, I mean, what kind of life is that going to be?
Kind we talked about. Come here. Come here. I'll be home tomorrow night.
You know something? You're a good cook.
Sure, if you can handle a steady diet of baked potatoes and steak.
Oh, no, wait, don't touch those. I'll do the dishes.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Maggie, tell me the truth. How come none of those cowboys were ever able to put their brand on you?
Just lucky, I guess. Or unlucky, depending on which way you look at it.
You mean that you were never serious? Not even once?
There was one guy. I loved him. I loved him a lot. But we just weren't good for each other. Anyway, that's all over now.
Mag, can I use your phone? Mine hasn't been installed yet.
Sure, it's over there.
Thanks.
Barnaby doing?
Hi, it's me.
Oh, Jedediah, I'm glad you called.
My phone won't be installed for a few days, so I'm calling from a friend's apartment.
Oh, Maggie's apartment? You can't talk?
Yeah, right.
It's all right. You just sit there and listen. We checked out that car. It belonged to an ex-con named Wyatt Perry. 36 feet, black hair, medium build. That sound like the one you saw with Maggie?
That's the one.
What makes you think that's not her boyfriend?
Well, it seems less likely all the time. The fact is, the way she talks, I think the whole romance is over.
Maybe that's what she wanted you to think.
I know.
Well, at least we got a line on Perry. We're checking out all his known friends now. Call me later.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Oh, come on, enough with the dishes. Leave them for later.
Okay. Let's go see what kind of records Jane has.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice. Now, do you like that? Tell me the truth, yes or yes.
Oh.
That's all he said?
Then he said something about it being all over. That's got to be about Maggie and Jack. It fits with what I heard her tell Jack this afternoon.
And you had no idea who this J.R. Brown was talking to?
No, he was very careful. He didn't use any names.
Okay. We'll find out who this guy is, understand?
I think I better change the record.
Okay, but wait a minute. What's the matter?
Well, just give it a little more time, yeah?
JR, I was on that ranch for a really long time.
I know you were, but if it happens, I want it to be for me, not just because I happen to be handy.
What difference does it make?
Well, to me, a lot.
JR, I need you.
No, you don't. You don't need me. And I don't want to be used any more than you do.
A guy I know would have loved it if I'd come onto him like that.
Well, I'm not him.
No, you sure the hell aren't.
Look, Maggie, why don't we make some coffee, talk it over.
Oh, yeah, I bet you're real good at that. Good night, JR. The party's over.
Come on, Maggie.
Get out!
Hi, Maggie.
Why, JR. Listen, I want you to meet one of the most fascinating men I've ever met. J.R. Brown, Ted Goff.
Hi.
How are you?
Ted just moved in, too. He's got his own business, import-exports. Travels all over the world.
Sounds terrific.
J.R.'s still in law school.
Well, the law's a fascinating field. If you can hack all of those books.
Yeah, you do have to be able to read.
Why don't you go put on your suit and join us?
Okay, I think I will. Can I talk to you for a second in private?
Sure. I guess. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no sweat.
Maggie, who is that guy?
I told you. His name's Ted. He used to play for the Bears.
Really? Which zoo?
Oh, that's cute.
Look, you don't have to do a whole number just to get back at me for what happened last night.
Excuse me, I think that's my phone.
Going up to my apartment for a beer. You want one?
No, thanks.
Maggie, it's me. I'm at the airport.
What airport? Where are you?
L.A.
Are you crazy? Just a second.
Ted went for some beer. Do you want some?
Oh, no, thanks. I'll be right out. You're crazy, Jack. I told you not to come here. This just isn't gonna work.
I have to see you. Now, if you're not going to come meet me, I'm coming over there.
Oh, no. Please, 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 just leave me alone. I told you I made up my mind.
All right. But look, I've taken a lot of chances coming here. I just want to see you. Talk to you one last time. Maggie, you owe me that much.
Oh. Okay. Where'll I meet you?
You remember that place off Sepulveda and Delgado where we used to go bike riding? Meet me near the shack.
Okay, the shack. Sepulveda Delgado. Okay.
And Maggie, be careful. Now, Wyatt won't be following you himself, but I'm sure he'll have somebody watching you.
Oh, okay. I'll leave as soon as I can.
Maggie,
What do you want now, JR?
look, I'd really like to explain about last night. Do you have to go someplace or can we talk?
JR, I'm the one who should be explaining. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come on so strong.
Forgiven?
Listen, if you don't think it's too aggressive, why don't we go down to the beach and get some dinner?
Well, I was just about to suggest the same thing.
Good. I want to go change clothes.
Okay. I'll be here.
J.R. Brown, please.
Oh, JR, got a call. Maggie, listen, I have to go to the phone. I'll be right back, okay?
Take your time. I'll be here.
Okay, did they say who it was?
It's a lady.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Barnaby Jones Investigations, may I help you?
Betty, JR, what's up?
What do you mean, what's up?
Didn't you just call me?
No, why?
I think I've just been had. Let me call you back.
Jack.
Thanks for the call, Lieutenant. What do you got?
Wyatt Perry is dead. The other one, Ted Goff, probably will be.
Goff, one of Perry's known associates?
No. And if you're thinking that two of them pulled that Midtown check cashing robbery, you can forget it. Goff was taking an extended vacation at the taxpayer's expense.
Could they have done this to each other?
Not likely. We got a dirt biker here who said he saw a car speeding away from the scene.
Could have been Perry's partner.
We're gonna have trouble finding him now. Perry was our best lead.
I don't know, Lieutenant. Still one person who could identify him.
Maggie Revelle.
Well, hey, JR, I was just coming to look for you.
What happened to you?
I got a call, and there's an emergency. I had to go meet a friend.
Who?
You wouldn't know him.
Him?
It's nothing like that. Don't be jealous.
I wasn't jealous. I was worried.
Worried? Why? Were you afraid I wasn't going to come back?
It isn't funny, Maggie. That's exactly what I was worried about.
I don't think I like the way this conversation's going. I don't like the way you're talking to me.
Well, I don't like the way you're trying to shine me on here. Now, you made that phone call to the manager just to get me out of the way to meet your boyfriend, right? Did you tell him where he could find the money?
You're working for Wyatt. You just tried to get close to me so I would lead you to Jack.
Just keep your voice down. Jack is his first name?
Who are you?
Sit down. I am someone who is trying to help you. Now, you're partially right. I did take that apartment to get close to you. I'm working for Barnaby Jones.
The whole thing was a con.
No, not all of it. Because I got to know you. And you deserve a chance at something better. What do you think I'm telling you all this for?
What an actor. You're just trying to use me like everybody else.
You're wrong. Now, I had a chance to use you. You even wanted me to, remember? But I wouldn't. Now, I think that makes me just a little bit different from this Jack, who let you spend a year in jail. Maggie, believe it or not, Barnaby is trying to help you. Now, just tell us who Jack is, and we'll find him.
I can't.
You're still hung up on this guy, aren't you?
I don't know. I don't know about anything anymore.
Maggie, I'm on your side.
Why don't you just leave me alone for a while?
JR, there's a call. A guy named Barnaby says it's urgent.
It must have been a spectacular shootout the way the ballistics boys reconstructed it.
I wonder if she saw it happen.
Was she upset when she came back?
Yes, she was.
I think it was falling out over money. If he didn't have it before, I think that Maggie's boyfriend has it now.
Jack is his first name. She let that much slip.
Since this Jack has eliminated Perry, I think now he may try for Maggie.
You know, Barnaby, Maggie is really down on this guy. I don't think she'd go with him.
Jedediah, you ever hear of a woman changing her mind?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I hope you're wrong.
Don't let her out of your sight. I'm on my way over there.
Jack? No. I thought...
I was dead. You were there, weren't you?
I saw the ambulance. I saw the police.
Well, I don't know how they did it, but they set me up. Wyatt and another guy almost got me, too.
Why did you come here in the first place? I told you not to.
Well, honey, you know how I feel about you. Now, you couldn't keep me away. Feels good. Feels like home. I want you to come with me now. My car's in the garage, honey.
I'm not going.
What's the matter? I don't understand. Don't you love me?
Yes. You know this isn't gonna work. Being with you only means trouble. No.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yes. That's your answer to everything, isn't it? You can't talk somebody into doing something, you force them.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I won't do it again.
You're damn right. You know what I found out? I found out that there's another kind of man. Somebody who's gentle, but he can still be a man.
Get in the car.
I'd never turn you in, don't you know that? I would never do anything to hurt you.
Things have changed.
What things?
Ginger and I,
You and Ginger?
it just happened. Get in the car.
You're gonna have to kill me right here.
It's okay with me.
Right there, Jack. Are you okay?
Oh, you seem to have everything well in hand.
I guess I do at that, Barnaby.
You'll have to face charges, but I'm sure that we can find you a good lawyer. You must know of someone, right, Jedediah?
Oh, I think we can work something out.
Well, since the Utah police have picked up Ginger and $365,000 of the stolen money, I figured that pretty well closes up the book.
In more than one way.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea to move to another place.
Yeah. Jane said she would let me stay on here, but I think this place has too many bad memories.
Well, not all bad memories.
No, not all. JR, you remember what you said about just letting it all happen?
Yeah, I think it just happened.
Operator, I need to talk to a Mrs. Verna Compton, Denver, Colorado. Collect, please.
Stewart, if it's one of those women from the health spa, tell him I can take him anytime between 3 and 5.
It's past 1 a.m., Verna. Nobody'd be calling for masseurs this time of night. Hello?
I have a collect call from
Yeah?
Richard Davis in Los Angeles.
Collect from where?
Los Angeles.
Just a minute. Verna, you know anyone in Los Angeles named Richard Davis?
Davis?
Stewart, it's me. It's me.
Verna, it's Dwayne.
Hello?
Will you accept the call?
Oh, yes, operator. I'll take the call. Oh, Dwayne. Dwayne, is it really you?
Don't get excited.
Oh, excited. My pills. Get me my pills. Oh, honey, how thoughtless can you be? Do you realize that it has been almost 4 months since you got out of that awful hospital? And the only consideration you've shown your poor mother is one tacky postcard from San Francisco.
I needed to get my head together, just make sense out of things. I even got a job after I hitched down here to L.A. And then I met this girl.
I knew it. That's why you forgot that I even existed. Son, haven't I warned you about those pickups? They're just tramps, all of them.
Well, that's why I called. I need your help. Just like before.
Like before. What is it, Dwayne? What's wrong?
It happened again, Mom.
Oh, my Lord.
What is it?
Are you sure, Dwayne? Are you sure?
Yes, but I couldn't help myself. She's just like all those other girls. She's just filth. Mama, help me. I don't know what to do.
It's all right, son. Stuart and I'll be on the next plane for Los Angeles.
Verna, what's going on?
Just get some clothes on and pack some things for us. Dwayne, what's that address where you're at?
It's the Marco Apartments, 5th and West. Mom!
And that name you're using, Richard what?
It's Davis, but Mom, I can't stay here.
Son, just get hold of yourself. Now listen to me. Listen very carefully. You can't let them find what you did, like the last time. You know what I mean? This time, you must get rid of it.
No, I can't. No.
Now, while it's still dark, you have got to take it out in the woods somewhere and bury it.
Bury it?
That's right. And then you go back to your room and wait for us.
I'll try. But hurry, please.
You startled me. I didn't hear you come in. I'm sorry.
I'm looking for the Barnaby Jones that's listed in the phone book as an investigator.
Well, I expect him back in a few minutes. Can I help you?
Verna?
Oh, there's someone here. I'm Verna Davis. This is my husband, Stuart.
Well, I'm Betty Jones, Barnaby's daughter-in-law, his secretary. What did you want to see him about?
Well, it's about my son, Dwayne. This sweet, lovely boy has disappeared. He's just vanished. And Richard's a good boy. I mean, he's never been in any trouble in his life.
Didn't you just call him Dwayne?
Oh, did I? Do you mind if I sit down?
Certainly.
He goes by Richard himself now. He thinks it's more manly, but I just can't get used to it.
Richard Davis. His height, weight?
5'9", about 140, 45 pounds. Blondish hair, hazel eyes. And he just turned 22.
When were you last in touch with him?
I talked to him on the phone about flying in from Denver last night. That's where we live.
You mean he's just been missing since last night?
And when we got here this morning, he had already checked out of his room, bag and baggage. He didn't even leave a forwarding address.
Mrs. Davis, you see, Barnaby doesn't usually handle ordinary cases of missing persons.
He doesn't?
No.
Stuart, what are we gonna do?
Perhaps there's something I could do. I mean, I can't really guarantee anything, but I...
Oh, you will? Oh, thank you. Right off, I just knew you were a very human type of person.
Well, the trouble is, I really don't know where to start. What about work? Did he have a job here?
He said something about a job, but I didn't even think to ask him what it was.
Now, could be he got himself into some carpentry work.
Oh, well, if he's a member of the Carpenters Union, that'll narrow it down some.
Well, he's not, but being a carpenter myself, every now and then I scab him onto a job so he can pick up a couple of dollars. Boy, wasn't good for much else.
It's your trouble, Stuart. You're always looking down your nose at him because he's a stepson.
Well, listen, I'll start checking around, and if I come up with anything, where can I reach you?
Everything's been so hectic, we haven't even had time to take a room yet.
All right. Call me here at the office, but before 6.
And thank you, Betty. Very much. No harm done, darling.
Betty, did the insurance company send over the list of stolen items from the Relics warehouse yet?
Here's the list for you.
Good, thanks.
And here's Reddick's market values for all the items stolen.
Those people on the way out, what was that about?
Well, they wanted to hire you to find their son who's been missing since last night.
Last night?
I know, that's what I said.
I hope you didn't tell her I'd take the case.
Of course not. I said I would.
It's us.
Oh, just a second.
I hope you don't mind us just dropping in like this.
Well, no, that's all right.
Oh, what a lovely apartment.
Oh, I'm sorry, come on in. Oh, please. I'd love to know how you found my address.
Oh, it wasn't easy considering how many Joneses there are in the phone book. It was just lucky I was able to match one of them with that bill I saw from Carstairs Department Store on your desk. This is for you. Chocolate-covered cherries. Grandma always said, never visit empty-handed.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you. I really expected you to call at the office.
Oh, I did, didn't I, Stuart?
Well,
You'd
you
already
see.
gone. Nothing, huh? I can see it in your face. I just know something dreadful's happened to that boy.
Now, Berna, don't worry so. The lady's doing the best she can, I'm sure. She's got to get off her feet a while.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please, sit down. Can I get you some coffee? Tea, perhaps?
Oh, no stimulants, the doctor said. Oh, that boy. That boy.
Yeah, you really didn't give me a chance to tell you. I have turned up one possible lead.
You did?
Mm-hmm. One of the jobbers that I talked to, who hires non-union carpenters, said that he really couldn't remember the name, but that a young man answering Richard's description left him for a job in a lumber yard.
Did you hear that, Stuart? Did he say what lumber yard?
No, but I've been running down all the ones in the phone book, and if that doesn't turn up anything, well, we'll try something else.
Like what?
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Meanwhile, I imagine you're about as tired as I am. I mean, it's been a long day. I'm rather anxious to get some sleep.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. You must be tired.
What is it?
Easy, Verna.
What is
Now, take it easy.
Are you all right?
Heart acts up every now and then. Can we have some water, please?
Well, shouldn't I call a doctor?
No, don't do that. I'll be all right, Betty. I just have to get some rest for a few hours.
Yeah, you will.
Your hotel, is it far from here?
Go on, Stuart. Tell her where our hotel
Well, the
is.
ones we looked at are pretty expensive. Got to watch our pennies, you know.
You mean you don't have a place to stay yet?
Now, don't you worry your mind about that. We'll find something.
Verna, you're going to kill yourself.
Well, if I do, it's not going to be on this kind lady's floor. Now, come on, Stuart.
Betty, will you please talk to her?
Oh, well, I suppose you could rest here.
Oh, what a neighborly thing to do.
I mean, it's just that I'm not really set up for house guests.
Oh, this couch will suit me just fine. And Stuart can, we can push those 2 chairs right up to the ottoman.
Well, sure, I guess, yeah. Are you sure you're going to be comfortable enough? I mean...
Oh, like two robins in a nest.
Oh, yes, I can take care of that.
Oh, right. Now, don't you pay us any mind. You just go on to bed and don't you worry about anything. Oh, Betty. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Matthew 25. Bless you, Betty.
Well, I do hope you're feeling better in the morning. Call me if, sleep well. Good night.
Good night, Betty. Betty.
Good morning.
We didn't know what time you'd be getting up, or Stuart had cooked enough eggs for you, too. Oh, Stuart.
Oh, yeah, sure.
No, really. That's all right. Don't worry about me. I see you're feeling better.
No, not really. I won't be myself again until I see my son and know he's well and safe.
You're a little low on the orange juice, but we saved you some.
Oh, no, really. I usually get something at the office. Has anybody seen the morning paper?
Paper?
Wasn't the paper outside the front door?
We never opened the door.
Oh. Oh, it doesn't matter. Listen, as long as you're here, why don't you just stay a few more hours so that I know where I can reach you, and maybe by then I'll have some better news.
Oh, Betty, I don't know what we would have done without you.
Oh. Well, enjoy.
What's going to happen when she sees this? Well, what if she recognizes that this is Dwayne?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
No. No, I like that boy. You know that.
No, you don't. But it doesn't matter as long as you keep it in your mind that I am never going to let them take him back to that awful hospital again. And if anybody gets in my way, kill him.
He doesn't work there. All right, fine. Thank you very much.
You're not still at that missing son business, are you?
Are you kidding? She's so dedicated she had her clients overnight as house guests.
Big mouth.
Betty, don't you think it's about time that you filled us in on what's going on?
It's really nothing, Barnaby. By the time I got home last night, I had... Excuse me. Betty Jones, Barnaby Jones Investigations. May I help you?
Yeah, this is the foreman at Redwood Lumber. I got a message here. You called yesterday. What can I do for you?
Yes, well, it's in reference to Richard Davis. The clerk that I spoke to said that the name sounded familiar, but that...
What about Davis?
Oh, he does work there, then?
Not anymore. The creep quit me yesterday.
No.
Well, what's this all about? Is he in some kind of trouble, I hope?
No, nothing like that. His mother is in from out of town, and she asked me to look for him.
Yeah, well, tell her to drop by here in 5 or 10 minutes. Her baby boy will be stopping by then for his final check.
He is that.
Hello?
Verna? Betty, I have some good news.
You found
Well, I think so. But you're going to have to get there fast before he gets away again.
Where is it?
It's the Redwood Lumber Yard.
Tell me how to get there.
All right, you take the downtown freeway to the Wallace off-ramp, and you take Wallace east to Glendon, and that's it.
Now, wait a minute. It's the Wallace off-ramp, and then Glendon?
East to Glendon. Listen, there isn't much time. I'm closer. I'd better drive over there and make sure you don't miss Richard in case you have trouble finding the place, all right?
No, we're on our way. Come on.
Here's the report, Barnaby.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, listen, I have to wind up my little missing persons case, so I'll meet you in Long Beach, all right?
Oh, you found your man that fast. Congratulations.
Thank you.
They should all be that easy.
Nothing to it, J.R., just talent, perseverance, and good lucks.
Bye.
Here, don't make this load your life's work, huh?
Hello, Mr. Winchell. My paycheck ready?
Yeah, be with you in a minute, kid.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Just looking for your check here. There must have been some Donnybrook you got in the other night to get your face all scratched up like that.
How'd you know I got it scratched?
Well, I saw it when you came by yesterday. Look, it seems like they didn't put your check in this batch.
What are you trying to pull?
Nothing. I'll just call the main office and they'll send it right over. No problem. Hello? Yeah, Sergeant. I'd like to talk to somebody about the guy's picture of this morning's paper. Yeah.
Hang it up. Hang up right now.
Yeah, hey, take it easy with that.
Come on, get back in here. Your check is here. I won't be able to cash it now. I want my money from the box to keep in the drawer. Sure, kid, whatever.
Hi,
Shut up. Don't make a sound. Get over there.
Better do like he says, lady. He's the killer the cops are looking for.
Come on, get over here! Come on, come on, come on. Is that your car out there?
Yes.
All right. You're gonna drive us out of here. Go on.
You're in no condition.
Go on.
There it is.
Look, it's Dwayne. Stop! Stop!
Looks like he's been hurt.
Follow.
Dwayne! Dwayne! Honey, what have they done to you? It's all right, honey. Mama's here. Everything's gonna be all right.
He's bleeding bad.
I'll get an ambulance.
Oh, Betty, no. Don't get an ambulance. I mean, I can take care of him. He's gonna be all right.
Verna, he's been shot. He could die.
But they're not gonna lock him up again, you hear me? Never.
Verna.
They are never going to take him away from me again.
Barnaby, JR, glad your exchange could locate you. When I heard communications broadcast the DMV on it, I dropped everything, came right over.
I gather there were no witnesses.
All black and white spotted it parked here illegally. Stopped to check it out, saw the blood on the front seat there and called in.
Well, there's no way of telling whether Betty was in the car when whatever happened, right?
No, but if it was stolen, she would have reported it by now, wouldn't she?
Yeah, I guess.
Doesn't seem to be any blood on the driver's side.
Meaning that the driver was injured after moving over to the passenger side, or there was more than one person in the car.
You mind?
Of course not. Listen, assuming the car wasn't stolen, you have any idea what Betty was doing that would bring her into this out-of-the-way part of town?
When she left the office, she was on her way to try to help some people contact their son.
Barnaby! Trail of blood leads all the way along here and then stops right here.
Yeah, as if whoever was hurt got into another car.
That's where we got it figured. Listen, you better give me the names of those people Betty was trying to help.
Well, Lieutenant, we don't know their names. We were working on another case at the time. We never really got into it with her.
She probably made some notes. We'll stay in touch.
What are we stopping for?
Verna, I don't think those bandages and stuff we got at the drugstore is gonna be enough.
Damn you, Stuart. I told you hospitals have got to report gunshot wounds. Now get out of here.
Don't do it. Are you crazy? He needs a doctor.
I can take care of it. He'll be all right.
Verna, he's going to bleed to death, right in your arms.
I'll check things out first. But if she tries anything, you know what to do.
I help you? Indeed, miss, I hope you can. You see, I'm in great need of a doctor. Is it an emergency? Oh, no, not really. What I'm talking about is a family-type doctor, one that treats his patients in his own private offices.
Oh, what? I'm afraid it's against hospital policy to make such recommendations, but if you call the medical association, they can help.
Well, about that doctor over there, I mean, he doesn't just work here all the time, does he?
Dr. Oxford? No, he has his own practice. He works here on weekends. Would you like to talk to him?
Oh, no, that's okay. I'll just wait till he's finished. Thanks, miss.
Doctor, please. It's an emergency.
Oh, what is it, ma'am?
Oh, please, it's my son. He's out in the car and he's been hurt awful bad.
All right. I'll have some orderlies bring out a gurney.
Oh, no. You shouldn't even move him until you look at him. I think he might be dying. Please.
All right. Let's have a look.
Here.
How did this happen?
I'll tell you all about it on your way to your private offices.
Hey, what's going on here?
You are crazy.
What are you waiting for, Stuart? Get out of here.
Richard Davis.
Verna and Stuart Davis, Denver, Colorado. Description.
Everything's here except where Betty was headed.
Checking off phone numbers in this book. Here we are. Lumberyard. Cutting down to Redwood. Barnaby Jones, Investigations. I'm checking on a call that was made to you people within the last couple of hours by a Betty Jones. Well, she was making inquiries about a young man named Richard Davis. It was a shooting? What was it about? Who got shot? I see. Oh, thank you very much. Someone there recognized a worker named Richard Davis. There was a woman there. They got into a car that matched Betty's and drove away.
What was that about a shooting?
They're not clear on that. The only other person involved was the foreman, a man named Winchell. Still unconscious from a blow on the head.
Now, if that's the same Richard Davis that got into a car with Betty...
Did I get these over to Lieutenant Biddle? Fill him in.
All right.
Hurry up! Get him in. Come on. It's all right. Hurry up. Is there anybody else in here?
It's Saturday. Everybody's off for the weekend. On the table, right here. Take it easy. Easy. Okay. Ow! Now.
Hey,
Lift him.
Mother!
Mother's here, darling. Everything's gonna be all right.
Verna, he's lost so much blood, he should be in a hospital.
You get out of here. Come on, out! Stuart, stay out there with her.
Doctor, talk to her. Make her understand.
Get out!
That lady's right. If I have to replace blood or need life support equipment, this is not the place to be.
Don't worry about it, Doctor. I've had nursing experience. I'll help you.
Have to go in for the bullet right away. Scrub up.
I'm warning you. If you think you're gonna botch this up just to get me to take him to a hospital, I'm gonna know about it. And I'll kill you.
Please, let me call someone. If you love her, help me save her from killing her own son.
What happened?
Don't let her get away!
worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Come on, out. If this is the way Werner wants it, that's the way it's gonna be. Let's go.
Yes.
Barnaby, I got a flyer here out of Denver that identifies Richard Davis as a Dwayne Pearson, an escaped fugitive.
Pearson?
Yeah, let's see. Father dead, mother married again to a carpenter named Stuart Compton. Davis is just an alias they were all using.
Then his mother must have known that he was in trouble all along.
Wait, it gets heavier. About 8 months ago, his mother was given a suspended sentence for trying to help Dwayne escape from a Colorado hospital for the criminally insane. Girl in this morning's paper is not the first one he's killed, Barnaby.
Barnaby, every hospital in the county's been alerted to report all gunshot wounds directly to me, and to be on the lookout for anyone matching Dwayne's or Betty's description. Now, don't worry, we'll find her.
Well, make it fast, John. I just checked out the blood from the car. It's type B, same as Betty's.
Wait a minute, Barnaby. Don't throw in the towel here. Dwayne's blood is type B also.
And there's a 50-50 chance on who was wounded. I guess that's better than nothing.
I told you before, let it ring.
He's not going to make it unless we get him to a hospital now. Mister, you got to make your wife listen to reason. Don't you people understand? But sure, I got the bullet out. But he's still burning up with fever because I haven't been able to stop the bleeding.
The bleeding has stopped. I've got eyes. I can see that.
Not inside. He's hemorrhaging internally.
On my son's life, if you let him die, I'll kill you.
Werner.
No! You're talking about my son.
Save him, doctor. Help him, doctor. Don't let him die.
Make the call. Please. There can still be time.
I'd have Werner all to myself.
What?
If the boy does die, she'd have only me to turn to. I'd have her all to myself.
Oh, please, doctor. One more baby. Help him. No, you're hurting him. You're hurting him. You're hurting him. You're hurting him. You're hurting him.
The type of wound I'm talking about would have been made by gunshot, but might not necessarily have been identified as such. I see. Thank you.
What's all that about?
The amount of blood in Betty's car, I would say that whoever was wounded didn't get very far without some kind of medical attention.
But I heard Lieutenant Biddle tell you that he's alerted all the hospitals.
In the county, But I am concentrating on the hospitals in the vicinity of where the car was found.
They'd report a wound as soon as any of the rest, no?
Maybe, maybe not. Depends on circumstances.
You know, you're right. I think I'll try some of these, too.
Hello. I am making an inquiry as to whether or not your hospital treated a victim of a gunshot wound today.
A gunshot wound today?
Or a wound that may have been made by a bullet, but...
Sir, before you go on, it just so happens that Dr. Oxford, our duty doctor, up and disappeared this afternoon. And so any serious injuries have been routed straight on to other hospitals.
Your doctor disappeared. What was that about?
It's a mystery to us. Last anyone saw of him was when he stepped outside with some woman.
Do you know who the woman was?
No, just some woman who wanted to know if he had offices away from the hospital where he treated patients.
Did you check his offices?
Yes, but no one answers the phone.
What is that address?
Better sit down.
Is he dead?
You're just like your father. Always getting into trouble trying to do things on your own. I told your father, I said, Billy, you're not man enough to drive a truck. I said, why don't you save your money? You could open a health club and have me to run it for you. And you know what he'd do? He got behind the wheel of that smelly thing. Drove the whole rig right over a cliff one rainy night. And you're just like him. You're headstrong, you're always fighting. Always want to do everything on your own till you get in trouble. And it's, Mama, help me. It's all right. You just rest a while. Don't worry. Mother will take care of everything. Just like I always have. Stewart, I want you to point that gun at that man and shoot him.
Hey, now, hold on.
Don't listen to her.
You let him die. You die. Do it.
Stewart, you're in enough trouble already. Don't add murder to it.
Stewart, can't you be a man? Just once.
Don't do it, Stewart. Don't let her throw your life away like she threw her son's away.
And after him, her. Shoot them both. Stewart? Oh, wait. You married me.
All right. Let's just be nice and calm. Stewart, you untie the doctor. Doctor, when he does, you call the police.
She won't use that gun, Stewart. Take it away from her.
Don't try it. Go on, untie him.
It's the kind of man I always wind up with. Jelly for spines and brains to match.
Ernest, stay back. Oh, please. Don't make me shoot you.
You're like him. You're weak. You don't have it in you to pull that trigger.
Yes, I do. I will.
Do it, lady. If she gets that gun away from you, she'll kill us both. Shoot her!
Bernard. Please stay back. Bernard, don't!
You're right. Remember the last time I gave you some of this old brandy?
When I was hurting so badly with that toothache.
Want to see if it still works?
No, thanks, Barnaby. It's I don't know, a different kind of hurt this time. That woman. Oh. If you and JR hadn't come in when you did it.
That's something you better come to terms with right now. And don't let it haunt you. Would you have been able to pull that trigger?
I was going to say no. I guess that's what I'd like to think, but I know now I would have shot her. And that's why I hurt so much. Oh, the burners of this world. They make you realize, given the circumstances, you could be.
Put that bottle away, Betty. It is champagne tonight. Just made a reservation at the Lucky Rooster for 8:30.
The Lucky Rooster?
That's pretty posh.
You sure you can afford a high-class place like that, Jedediah?
Me? Wait a minute. I thought you pick up a tab, you pick up a tab, I pick up a tab. We alternate. That's the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the deal.
Oh, right. You picked up the last tab.
And I picked up the one before that.
Prime target. The afternoon sun beat down on the dusty pavement outside the correctional facility, casting long, stark shadows across the concrete. For Maggie Revelle, that heavy metal gate closing behind her was the sound of a long, dark chapter finally coming to an end. She stood there for a moment, clutching her meager belongings, taking her first real breath of freedom in almost a whole year. It was a year carved out of her life, a year of gray walls and heavy silence. A car door clicked open, and a familiar figure stepped out into the bright light. It was Bobby Jones, the investigator from the insurance company, looking just as persistent and unyielding as he had during her trial. He looked at her with a mixture of professional curiosity and genuine concern. He had a theory about a man he knew, someone who made a habit of visiting the drunk tank. Every time that friend of his got out, he would look back at the gray stone walls and say that it was a nothing place to visit, but a great place to leave. Maggie stopped in her tracks, her jaw tightening. She looked at him, her voice flat and exhausted. She told him that it was right, it was exactly what he always said, but it was not funny when he said it, and she knew him all too well. Bobby Jones smiled faintly, a seasoned investigator who rarely took no for an answer. He asked if she remembered him. Maggie scoffed softly, turning her eyes toward the open road. Of course she remembered. He was the investigator from that insurance company, a real persistent man who had haunted her steps for months. Bobby stepped closer, his tone remaining conversational, yet pointed. He reminded her that even though she had not answered his letters or granted him permission to visit her during her confinement, there were absolutely no hard feelings on his part. In fact, he told her that he thought he would welcome her out today and offer her a ride back to town, a small gesture of goodwill. Maggie shook her head, refusing to buy into his charm. She thanked him but told him that a friend was already picking her up. Bobby knew the details before she could even speak them. He nodded knowingly, mentioning that her friend was Jane Marshall from the Farrell Advertising Agency. He also added, with a subtle shift in his eyes, that he happened to have a slight acquaintance with her parole officer. Maggie snapped, her patience worn thin from the very moment her boots hit the outside gravel. She told him to get off her back. She had served her time, almost a whole year out of her life, and she owed nothing more to the state or to him. Bobby sighed, his demeanor softening into something more paternal. He looked at her and said that he had watched her closely during the trial. Underneath all the defiance and the silence, she seemed like a fairly decent girl. He told her genuinely that he would hate for her to wind up back in that place. Maggie looked away, her voice resolute. She told him not to worry because she had absolutely no intention of breaking her parole. Bobby narrowed his eyes slightly, moving in on the core of his mission. He told her that she knew exactly what he was talking about, and it was about what happened before she was arrested on that hit-and-run charge. Maggie turned to face him fully, her hands trembling slightly with anger. She told him that she did not see him or answer him during her sentence because she was entirely sick of saying the same thing over and over again. She stated clearly, as she had done 100 times before, that she did not have anything to do with robbing that check-cashing place, and she knew absolutely nothing about that $400,000 those men took. She asked him fiercely if he was finally satisfied. Bobby Jones remained unmoved, his professional logic cutting through her emotion. He reminded her that yet the car she drove at the exact time of the accident matched the vehicle that was driven during the Midtown holdup. Maggie stood her ground, her voice steady. She explained that her car simply looked like the one that the witness identified. It was a common model, a look-alike, and nothing more. She looked past his shoulder, her eyes lighting up with relief as a familiar sedan pulled up to the curb. She asked him if she could help him further, signaling that her ride had arrived. Jane Marshall stepped out of the driver's seat, hurrying over with an apologetic smile. She told Maggie that she was sorry for being late, but she had gotten caught in terrible traffic on the way over. Maggie smiled, stepping toward the car, and thanked her friend warmly. As Maggie reached for the passenger door, Bobby Jones offered one final, chilling piece of advice. He told her that she was playing an incredibly dangerous game. He warned her that he was not the only one who believed she knew far more about the missing $400,000 than she was telling everyone. He told her that any time she wanted to come in out of the cold, she could give him a call. Maggie did not look back. She told him that if she were him, she wouldn't lose too much time waiting by the telephone. With that, she got into the car, and Jane pulled away, leaving the investigator standing alone in the heat. Meanwhile, in the comfortable, wood-paneled offices of the Barnaby Jones Investigation Agency, a very different conversation was taking place. Betty Jones was sitting at her desk, organizing case files, while young JR had made himself entirely comfortable, leaning back with his feet resting right on top of Barnaby's polished desk. Betty looked up from her paperwork, a smirk playing on her lips. She looked at him and said that she had just been reading over the Maggie Revell case file again. Then she looked down at his boots and warned him that if Barnaby came back right now and caught him with his feet on his desk, he was going to be reading the want ads for a new job. JR chuckled, not moving an inch. He told her that to tell her the absolute truth, he believed Barnaby was going about this entire investigation all wrong. Betty let out a soft laugh, mocking his confidence. She said that his insight was very interesting, and she was absolutely sure Barnaby was not going to do things his way again. She added with a grin that she was certain Barnaby would really like to hear exactly how he would handle the case. JR smiled smoothly, gesturing with his hands. He told her that he would handle it with finesse, with absolute finesse. He stood up, pacing the room as he began to lay out his grand theory. He reminded her of the facts. 2 men wearing heavy ski masks took off in a getaway car after having just robbed the Midtown checking company of $400,000. Minutes later, a police officer spotted Maggie Revell running through a traffic light. She took off at high speed. The officer gave chase, and the pursuit almost ended up in her killing a couple of innocent people in a terrible smash-up. JR concluded that she was either a really tough lady or a pretty dumb one. Betty listened, turning a page in the file. She noted that the police officer at the scene did not even know that the car was involved in a major holdup at that moment, or that she was apparently trying to find a secluded place to get rid of it. She also pointed out that Maggie consistently denied that her car was the hold-up car, claiming instead that it was a mere look-alike. Betty called that a bald-faced lie. JR pointed a finger in agreement. He said that was exactly the point. So everyone assumed she was tough, dumb, and a liar. But he believed there was another factor. She was in love, and that was the absolute key to the entire mystery. She was in love with one of the hold-up men. He argued that she took the heavy jail sentence on the felony driving charge instead of making a sweet deal with the district attorney because she simply would not betray her lover. Betty leaned back, still unimpressed by the dramatic recitation. She told him that he still had not come up with a single piece of information that Barnaby had not already suspected weeks ago. JR raised his eyebrows, holding up a finger to signal his master stroke. He said that they must return to his original premise. He explained that Barnaby leaning heavily on Maggie was never going to get her to speak. Betty smiled, amused by his bravado. She said she gathered from his tone that he had a significantly better idea. She reminded him that he did say the word finesse, after all. JR nodded confidently. He explained that right now, they knew Maggie was rooming with her close friend, Jane Marshall. He proposed that if he were Barnaby, he would immediately get an apartment nearby, finding a way to get close to her without her ever knowing who he truly was. He hoped that sooner or later, through casual proximity, she would lead him straight to the hidden boyfriend. A dry, gravelly voice echoed from the doorway, startling them both. Barnaby Jones walked into the room, a faint, knowing smile on his face. He told JR that his idea was very good. In fact, it was fantastic. He asked JR directly what he thought about that. JR jumped slightly, quickly standing up straight. He greeted him, calling him boss. Barnaby walked over to his desk, setting down his briefcase. He looked at the young man and told him that he actually thought that idea of getting an apartment near Maggie's place was an excellent one. JR beamed, looking over at Betty with a triumphant grin, telling her to see that he was right. Betty, however, pointed out a massive flaw in the plan. She reminded them that the trouble was that Maggie already knew exactly what Barnaby looked like from the courtroom. Barnaby agreed completely. He told them that was absolutely true, and that was precisely why he had Betty call Mr. Porter earlier this morning. JR blinked, confused. He asked who Mr. Porter was. Betty answered with a smile, explaining that Mr. Porter was the manager of the specific apartment building where Maggie was currently staying. She added that he was going to be expecting a certain Mr. J.R. Brown to come by later on this afternoon to look at a vacant apartment. J.R.'s smile vanished instantly. He shook his head, stammering that he really could not do it. He reminded Barnaby that he had just finished a whole grueling battery of law school exams and needed a break. Barnaby patted him on the shoulder, completely dismissive of the excuse. He told him with a chuckle that a couple of days in one of those swinging singles apartment complexes was exactly what a young man needed. JR tried one last defense, mentioning that he also had an afternoon tennis date with the dean of the law school. Barnaby smiled warmly, using JR's own favorite word against him. He told him he was absolutely sure that JR would be able to finesse his way out of that tennis date without any trouble at all. An hour later, JR found himself standing in the sunny courtyard of a beautiful apartment complex, walking alongside Mr. Porter, the building manager. Mr. Porter was a cheerful man who loved his building and loved talking about the residents even more. Mr. Porter handed JR a key, gesturing to the beautiful surroundings. He told the young man to take the address and look around. He called JR a handsome young badger and told him to spend the money and take the penthouse, promising him that he would never regret it. JR laughed, accepting the key. He joked that if Mr. Porter trusted him to pay the rent regularly once he finally graduated from law school, then they had a deal. Mr. Porter chuckled deeply, looking at JR with a touch of envy. He sighed, wishing he had been born 20 years later, noting that JR was currently turning down apartments that practically came with hot and cold running girls. He then asked JR what exactly he was looking for in the way of a furnished single apartment. JR played his role perfectly, asking if there was anything available on a specific floor. He caught sight of two women walking across the courtyard toward the parking garage. Mr. Porter looked in the same direction and told him he might be in luck. He asked what floor he wanted, and JR pointed toward the level where the two women were walking, asking if there was anything on their floor. Mr. Porter confirmed that he believed he did have an opening right there. JR looked casually at the two women and asked if Mr. Porter knew who they were. The manager nodded, giving him the local gossip. He explained that the one dressed in black was Jane Marshall, who had lived in the building for about 3 years. The other woman, he admitted, he had never seen before in his life. JR committed the information to memory, smiling smoothly. He told the manager that it looked perfect and asked to see the place, and Mr. Porter happily led the way down the corridor. Inside Jane Marshall's apartment, the atmosphere was light and filled with the comfort of old friendship. Maggie was unpacking a few of her modest things, while Jane was holding up a stylish jacket against Maggie's shoulders, admiring the look. Jane smiled, asking if she thought the jacket would go perfectly with everything else they had bought. Maggie laughed softly, agreeing that it was absolutely perfect. She admitted that hitting all those clothing shops this morning was completely worth it. She looked at herself in the mirror, noting that the new wardrobe was a definite and massive improvement over her simple prison smock. As Jane went to set some bags down on the counter, she accidentally knocked over a small, half-finished latch-hook rug depicting a colorful tiger. Maggie caught it, smiling wistfully. She called it her sanity project. Jane looked apologetic, saying she was truly sorry and that she really wasn't trying to look through her personal things. Maggie shook her head, telling her it was completely okay. She explained that she and that tiger were very close, as she would work on it diligently when things got really bad inside the facility. She admitted softly that she thought she would have gone completely crazy if she had managed to finish it before she finally got out. Jane sat down beside her, her eyes filled with deep sympathy. She asked gently if Maggie wanted to talk about her time inside or about what had happened. Maggie took a deep breath, looking at her friend. She suggested that they talk about it after Jane returned from her upcoming business trip to New York. Jane agreed, but expressed her deep regret that she had to leave so soon after Maggie's release. She mentioned that she wished they could have stayed together this week to have some real fun. Maggie smiled reassuringly, telling her it was probably a very good idea for her to be by herself for a short while anyway, just so she could get fully used to being out in the world again. The intercom buzzed loudly from the wall, interrupting their conversation. Jane answered it quickly, listening to the front desk. She turned back to Maggie, announcing that her taxi had arrived. Maggie stood up, offering to drive her to the airport instead, but Jane insisted that she relax, noting that the entire taxi fare went straight onto her company's old expense account. She told Maggie to consider the apartment completely hers for the next week and encouraged her to use the car whenever she wanted. Maggie thanked her warmly for everything she was doing. Jane laughed, grabbing her suitcase, and joked that just for that sweet remark, she would personally carry the heaviest bag down to the lobby. Down in the main lobby, Mr. Porter was standing near the desk, talking into the house phone. He spoke into the receiver, assuring the person on the other end that he would check on the phone company for them right away. As he hung up, he saw Jane and Maggie walking toward the exit with their luggage. At the exact same moment, JR walked out of the elevator, looking sharp and perfectly casual. Mr. Porter smiled, calling out to Jane. He told her he wanted her to meet her brand new neighbor, a young man named J.R. Brown. JR smiled warmly, stepping forward and saying hello to Jane. Jane greeted him politely and then turned to introduce her companion, introducing her as Maggie Revell. Mr. Porter chimed in cheerfully, mentioning that Maggie was staying there while Jane was away. He then looked at Jane's bags and asked where she was off to this time. Jane replied that she was heading to New York. JR looked directly at Maggie, his eyes bright and friendly. He told Jane that it was very nice to meet her and wished her a wonderful trip. Jane thanked him, said her goodbyes to Maggie, and headed out toward her waiting taxi. Left standing in the lobby, JR turned his full attention to Maggie. He smiled and noted that it looked like the two of them were going to be neighbors. Maggie looked at him, her guard still up, and replied coolly that it certainly looked that way. She told him she would see him around, and JR watched her walk away, murmuring to himself that he would definitely see her around. Later that afternoon, Maggie walked down to the secluded lower parking garage to retrieve something from Jane's car. The underground space was dim, illuminated only by harsh fluorescent bulbs. As she unlocked the car door, a sudden shadow fell across her path. She gasped, spinning around to find a rugged, dangerous-looking man standing right behind her. Maggie's breath caught in her throat. She looked at him in sheer disbelief, asking if Jack sent him or if Jack was actually here. The man, whose name was Wyatt Perry, scoffed aggressively. He told her to get off it, stating that she knew exactly why he was there. Maggie shook her head frantically, terror rising in her voice. She swore to him that she had absolutely no idea that Jack had run out on him. She asked how she could possibly know, explaining that Jack had never come to see her during her entire year in prison, and he had never written her a single letter. Wyatt stepped closer, his voice dropping into a low, menacing threat. He warned her that if she was lying to him right now, he was going to personally break her legs. Maggie backed up against the car, her voice trembling but sincere. She told him honestly that she didn't know anything, and besides, she still could not bring herself to believe that Jack would ever do something so terrible to his own partner. Wyatt laughed bitterly. He told her that Jack absolutely did it. He explained that on the day of the robbery, when Maggie didn't come back from dumping the getaway car after the accident, Jack told him he was going out to look for her. Wyatt stated angrily that that was the last time he ever saw Jack, and it was the last time he saw the $400,000 they had stolen. He admitted that he fully believed Maggie was in on the entire plan with him from the very start. Maggie denied it, but Wyatt reminded her that she and Jack had massive plans together, including getting married and building a life. He demanded that she tell him how to get in touch with Jack, insisting that they must have worked out a backup plan in case anything went wrong with the robbery. Maggie stammered, saying that maybe she could try to call a friend, but she was completely unsure of where he was. Wyatt grabbed her arm roughly, warning her that maybe Jack would get in touch with her instead. He told her fiercely that either way, she needed to tell Jack that he was going to get his rightful share of the money, or she was going to end up as one dead lady. He pushed her back slightly, demanding that she simply give Jack that exact message. Terrified, Maggie watched him turn and storm out of the garage. She stood shaking by the car, trying to catch her breath. Just then, JR walked into the parking garage from the elevator area, holding a bag of groceries. He saw her distress and immediately walked over, adopting his casual, friendly persona. He smiled and said hello, noting that when she said she would see him around, he had absolutely no idea it would be this soon. Maggie, still reeling from Wyatt's threats, snapped at him angrily. She asked him what he wanted from her. JR raised his hands innocently, keeping his voice gentle. He told her that he just wanted to be friendly. Maggie brushed past him, her voice tight with anxiety. She told him to go be friendly with somebody else because she was absolutely not in the mood for it right now. She hurried toward the elevator, leaving JR looking after her with a deeply concerned expression. A few minutes later, JR was standing at a public payphone just outside the apartment building, dialing the office. Over at the agency, Betty answered the phone, stating clearly Barnaby Jones' investigations and asking how she may help the caller. JR spoke quickly, telling her it was him and asking if Barnaby was available. Betty told him to hold on for a moment, calling out to Barnaby that General Dyer was on the line, using their little inside joke. Barnaby picked up the receiver immediately, asking for an update. JR explained that Maggie had just met a strange man down in the parking garage. He admitted that he couldn't really hear the specifics of their conversation from where he was standing, but whatever the man said had left her incredibly upset and shaken. Barnaby asked if he managed to get a good look at the individual. JR admitted that he didn't get a perfect look at his face, but he had successfully written down his license plate number. He read it off to Barnaby, stating it was a California plate number 3320VS. Barnaby told him he would check it out immediately through their official police contacts. He then asked JR how he was doing with his assignment so far. JR sighed, looking back toward the building. He admitted that so far, things were not going well, but he told Barnaby not to worry because it only took one good swing to hit a home run in an investigation. Meanwhile, across town in a dark, poorly lit motel room, Wyatt Perry walked through the door, slamming it behind him. A heavy-set man named Ted Goff was sitting on the edge of the bed, watching him anxiously. Ted looked up and asked if he had seen the girl. Wyatt sat down heavily, cursing under his breath. He told Ted that Maggie claimed she didn't even know that Jack had split on him with the money. Ted shrugged, suggesting that maybe she was actually telling the truth. Wyatt snapped at him, asking what he could possibly know, reminding him that he wasn't even around when the robbery took place. Ted remained calm, asking what their next move was going to be. Wyatt leaned forward, his eyes narrowing with malice. He explained that Jack was completely hung up on that girl, so he was absolutely certain that Jack would either be coming to the apartment building to see her in person, or he was going to find a way to tell her exactly how to get to him. He concluded that all they had to do was stay incredibly close to her until Jack made his move. Ted pointed to himself, realizing the implications, meaning that he was the one who would have to do the surveillance, since Wyatt was already spotted. He noted that Maggie didn't know his face, and neither did Jack. Wyatt nodded, patting Ted on the shoulder. He told his buddy that if he wanted a piece of that massive $400,000 loot, he was going to have to work hard for it. Back at the apartment complex, JR was waiting by the swimming pool, wearing his swim trunks and lounging casually under the afternoon sun. He saw Maggie walk out onto the patio, looking lost in thought and deeply troubled. He stood up, blocking her path with a warm, disarming smile. He looked at her and said that he was just a regular guy, and she was a very pretty lady. He told her playfully that he was not going to give up on being her friend, so he suggested that they just agree to be pals. Maggie looked away, sighing deeply. She told him honestly that she really didn't want to do this right now. JR nodded sympathetically. He told her that he knew it was a little uncomfortable moving into a brand new building after being away, but he assured her that it was completely all right. He pointed out that it simply gave them something in common. He lied smoothly, telling her that he had just finished a truly horrendous law school exam and wanted nothing more than to relax for a little bit. He asked her what she thought about the two of them relaxing together, suggesting they stop all this conversational tap dancing. Maggie looked at him, slightly amused despite her stress. She asked him what exactly he meant by that. JR smiled, gesturing to the sparkling blue water. He told her to just relax, kick back, and go for a quick swim with him. He challenged her to give him an answer, asking playfully if her answer was yes or yes. Maggie finally let her guard down a fraction, a small smile appearing on her face. She agreed, telling him yes, and asked for a single minute to go inside and change into her swimsuit. She asked if he lived right over there, pointing across the courtyard. JR pointed to his own door, confirming that he lived right over there. He told her he would come over and knock on her door when she was ready, reminding her with a grin that she was officially on the clock. Maggie laughed softly and headed inside. Inside Jane's apartment, before changing into her swimsuit, Maggie walked over to the telephone. She hesitated for a second, then dialed a long-distance number. The phone rang 3 times before a woman's voice answered on the other end. Maggie spoke into the receiver, asking for Ginger. The woman on the other end gasped happily, recognizing the voice. She called out Maggie's name, asking how everything was and noting in disbelief that she was out of prison already. Maggie smiled, telling her that everything was fine. She joked that her little cousin was officially the original good behavior kid, which was why she was released early. Ginger expressed her genuine happiness for her, saying it was wonderful news. Maggie agreed, stating that it definitely made 2 of them. Then, her voice dropped into a more serious tone. She asked Ginger if Jack had been keeping in touch with her at all. Ginger confirmed that he had, just like Maggie always said he would. She revealed that the last time he called was about 2 weeks ago, speaking from Salt Lake City, where he mentioned he was just passing through. Maggie's heart skipped a beat. She asked if he was really that close and wondered why he hadn't dropped by to see family. Ginger reasoned that she guessed he was just incredibly busy with something. Maggie then asked if Jack had given her a phone number or any specific place where she could reach him. Ginger replied that he hadn't left a number, but suggested that Maggie give her current number so that when Jack called again, she could pass it right along to him. Maggie quickly grabbed a pen, reading off Jane Marshall's number in Los Angeles, stating it was 5556137. Ginger repeated it, confirming she had it written down. Before hanging up, Maggie asked hesitatingly if Jack had mentioned having any severe problems between himself and a man named Wyatt. Ginger sounded confused, asking what kind of problems they could be having. Maggie quickly brushed it off, telling her never to mind. She emphasized strongly that when Jack called, Ginger must tell him that it was incredibly important for him to contact her right away. Ginger promised she would, and they said their goodbyes. Across town, in another secluded location, Ginger hung up the phone. She turned around to find Jack standing right behind her in the kitchen, holding a glass of milk. He had been listening to every single word. In his rush to step forward, his hand shook, and he accidentally dropped the milk glass, causing it to shatter on the linoleum floor. Jack ignored the mess, his face pale. He demanded to know who had called. Ginger looked at him, her voice quiet. She told him that Maggie had called, and she was officially out of prison. Jack stepped over the spilled milk, his mind racing. He muttered that they both knew this day had to come eventually. Ginger looked worried, informing him that Maggie wanted to know if she had heard about any dangerous problems between him and Wyatt. Jack's eyes widened. He realized that if Maggie was asking about Wyatt, it meant that Wyatt had already been to see her at the apartment complex. Ginger panicked, grabbing Jack's jacket. She begged him to take off right now, suggesting that they could easily be across the border in Canada by tonight. She argued that Maggie had kept quiet for a whole year in jail, so she probably wouldn't say anything to the police now. Jack shook his head, his expression hardening into something cold and desperate. He asked if she was kidding. He explained that sooner or later, Maggie was going to find out the truth about the two of them being together, and when she finally did, she wouldn't be able to get to the cops fast enough to turn them in. He stated firmly that there was only one definitive way to handle the situation now. He looked at Ginger and said that Maggie was a direct threat to their survival as long as she remained alive. Back at the apartment complex, the afternoon had turned into a pleasant, sunny escape. JR and Maggie were walking back from the pool area, their towels draped over their shoulders. Mr. Porter was standing nearby, watching them with a proud, matchmaker smile. Mr. Porter called out to them, gesturing to the beautiful courtyard. He told JR that as he could clearly see, they kept the pool area incredibly well-stocked with beautiful people. JR laughed, looking at Maggie, and agreed completely. Mr. Porter then looked past them toward the entrance of the courtyard, noticing a new resident who had just walked in. He pointed out the man, noting that he was a brand new tenant named Ted Goff. He offered to take JR over and introduce him. JR looked at the man, recognizing the heavy-set build from his instincts, but kept his cool. He thanked Mr. Porter, but told him he would rather introduce himself in his own way later on. Mr. Porter smiled, calling him a real artist. He noted happily that JR now had his key, his assigned parking space, and he already had his eye on one of the most beautiful girls in the building. The manager concluded that JR had officially moved in and told him to enjoy his stay. Later that evening, JR and Maggie were sitting inside Jane's apartment, enjoying a casual dinner. The tension of the afternoon had completely melted away, replaced by easy conversation and light-hearted laughter. JR was leaning back, recounting a story about his past. He explained that after he came back from serving in Vietnam, he came out to California, went straight back to school to study law, and that was pretty much it. He smiled and told her that she now knew the absolute whole story of his life. Maggie smiled wistfully, swirling the water in her glass. She told him that his life sounded a lot more exciting than the simple story of Maggie from Alpine, Texas. She joked that the most exciting thing she had ever done in her entire life was to go to the state cheerleaders competition, where her team lost miserably in the very first round. JR shook his head, looking at her intently. He told her smoothly that they only lost because he wasn't sitting on the panel of judges. He leaned forward, telling her that that simply couldn't be the entire story of her life. Maggie's smile faded slightly, a shadow of sadness passing over her face. She told him that that was truly it, calling herself just one big loser. JR scoffed gently, trying to lift her spirits. He asked her what about all the guys she used to date back home. Maggie laughed softly, shaking her head. She explained that where she was from, there were always significantly more cows than there were cowboys. She admitted quietly that she had never really had much luck with men in her life. JR looked at her warmly, telling her that they were going to change all of that starting right now. He asked her how she would like to have a lavish dinner at some incredibly expensive, top-tier restaurant in the city tonight. Maggie's eyes lit up, and she said she would absolutely love it. JR laughed, admitting that he would love it too, but unfortunately, he was currently living on the absolute outskirts of top-city financial success. He joked that their realistic choices for the evening were either tacos and cheap beer or a nice steak cooked right at his place. Maggie smiled, offering a counter-proposal. She mentioned that Jane had a great barbecue grill on the patio and suggested they cook the steaks right here at her place instead. JR grinned, telling her he was completely easy to please. He reached for his glass, but stopped when he noticed her staring intently at the counter. He asked if the glass he was holding was hers. Before she could answer, the telephone on the wall began to ring loudly. Maggie jumped slightly, looking at JR nervously. She walked over and picked up the receiver, asking if it was him. A familiar, breathless voice came through the line. The man on the other end confirmed that it was him, calling her honey and saying it was Jack. He told her it had been an incredibly long time and that he had missed her deeply. He asked if she was all right. Maggie turned her back to JR, keeping her voice low and tense. She confirmed that she was okay, but immediately informed him that Wyatt had been to see her this morning. She warned Jack that Wyatt claimed he had run out on him with all the money. Jack sighed heavily over the phone. He claimed that he didn't plan for things to happen that way, explaining that they simply got split up during the chaotic aftermath of the robbery. He admitted that since he had the money, he started thinking entirely about the two of them and how they could use it to build a beautiful life together. Maggie's voice trembled as she warned him that Wyatt was completely serious about killing him, and he threatened to kill her too if he didn't get his fair share of the money. She told Jack that his deadly threats were one of the main reasons she had called Ginger to find him. Jack told her to listen to him very carefully. He warned her that she had to be extremely cautious because Wyatt was probably watching every single move she made around that building. He instructed her to wait until 2 or 3 in the morning when everyone was asleep, and then slip out of the building unnoticed. He told her to catch any available flight going out of the airport and promised to call him the moment she landed, so he could meet her. Maggie shook her head resolutely, tears welling in her eyes. She told him firmly that she was not coming to meet him, Jack. Jack sounded stunned, asking her what the matter was. He told her he didn't understand and asked if she didn't love him anymore. Maggie wiped a tear from her cheek, her voice hardening with absolute clarity. She told him that she did love him, but she now knew that this relationship was never going to work. She explained that being with him only meant constant trouble and danger. Jack tried to argue, telling her to wait a minute and reminding her that they had a wonderful thing going and had made massive plans for the future. Maggie interrupted him, stating clearly that she didn't want to see him anymore. She told him she had completely made up her mind during her long year in prison. Jack grew desperate, begging her to come. He revealed that he had been waiting for her for over a year and hadn't spent a single dollar of the stolen money because he was saving it all for her. Maggie shook her head again, telling him firmly that she had already told him it was completely over between them. She hung up the phone abruptly, leaning against the wall, trembling. JR walked over gently, setting a hand near her shoulder, and asked if she was okay. Maggie swallowed hard, forcing a brave face, and told him she was fine. Back in the motel room, Jack hung up the receiver, his face pale with rage and fear. Ginger walked over to him, her eyes wide with worry. She reminded him that Maggie was family and pleaded with him to find another way to handle this without violence. Jack looked at her coldly, stating that there was no other way if they were going to have any kind of decent life together. Ginger looked at him with sudden horror, asking what kind of life they could possibly have knowing that he was the one who did something terrible to Maggie. Jack grabbed her arms, pulling her close, and told her fiercely that it would be the exact kind of life they had always talked about. He kissed her forehead, telling her to come here, and promised her that he would be back home tomorrow night after settling everything once and for all. Back at Jane's apartment, dinner was over, and the atmosphere had turned quiet and reflective. JR was helping her clear the table, trying to lighten the heavy mood that had settled after the phone call. Maggie looked at him, trying to smile, and told him that he was a surprisingly good cook. JR laughed, carrying a plate to the kitchen. He joked that anyone could be a good cook if they could handle a steady, unchanging diet of baked potatoes and steak. As Maggie reached for the empty plates, JR gently took them from her hands, telling her not to touch them because he would do the dishes himself. He asked if she was okay with that, and Maggie smiled, telling him he got it. While JR washed the dishes, Maggie sat on the sofa, lost in thought. JR looked over at her and decided to ask a direct question. He asked her to tell him the absolute truth about how none of those Texas cowboys were ever able to put their romantic brand on her. Maggie laughed softly, looking down. She said she guessed she was just lucky, or perhaps incredibly unlucky, depending entirely on which way you looked at it. JR walked out of the kitchen, wiping his hands on a towel. He asked if that meant she had never been truly serious about anyone, not even once. Maggie hesitated, the memory of Jack heavy in her mind. She admitted that there was one guy whom she loved a lot, but they were simply not good for each other. She shook her head, stating firmly that it was all completely over now. She then looked at JR and asked if she could use his phone later, noting that hers hadn't been installed yet. JR realized his mistake, remembering he had told her his phone wasn't working earlier. He quickly recovered, telling her that his phone actually hadn't been installed either, so he had to use a payphone earlier. JR then excused himself, claiming he needed to step out to make a quick phone call from the lobby payphone to check on something. Maggie thanked him, and he hurried out. Down in the lobby, JR dropped a coin into the payphone and dialed the Barnaby Jones agency. Betty answered on the first ring, and JR greeted her, saying it was him. Betty sounded relieved, telling him she was glad he called. She informed him that they had checked out the license plate number he had provided earlier. She revealed that the car belonged to an ex-convict named Wyatt Perry, described as being 36 years old, with black hair and a medium build. She asked JR if that description sounded like the man he saw threatening Maggie in the garage. JR confirmed that that was absolutely the man. He then expressed his doubts, telling Betty that he was starting to think this Wyatt Perry was definitely not her boyfriend. He explained that from the way Maggie talked, the whole romance with her actual boyfriend seemed completely over. Betty warned him that maybe that was exactly what Maggie wanted him to think to protect the guy. JR conceded that it was possible. Betty then told him that at least they now had a solid line on Perry, and they were currently checking out all of his known criminal associates. She told him to call back later with any updates. JR agreed and hung up the phone. When JR returned to Jane's apartment, he found Maggie standing by the record player, looking through Jane's collection. He walked over, telling her to leave the dishes for later and suggesting they see what kind of music records Jane had. Maggie smiled, pulling out a smooth jazz record and putting it on. As the music began to play, JR stepped closer, putting his hands gently on her waist. He smiled and asked if she liked the music, challenging her with his favorite phrase, asking her to tell him the truth, yes or yes. Maggie looked into his eyes, but sudden panic filled her expression. She pulled away gently, shaking her head. JR blinked, confused, and asked her what the matter was. Maggie walked over to the window, looking out into the dark courtyard. She told him that she had been on that ranch, meaning the correctional facility, for a really long time. JR nodded softly, saying he knew she was. Maggie turned to face him, her voice vulnerable. She explained that if something romantic was going to happen between them, she wanted it to be for who she truly was, not just because she happened to be convenient and handy at the moment. JR took a step toward her, trying to reassure her. He asked what difference it truly made. Maggie looked at him seriously, stating that to her, it made a massive difference. JR stepped closer, his voice dropping into a whisper as he told her that he needed her. Maggie shook her head firmly, backing away. She told him that he didn't need her at all, and she didn't want to be used by him any more than he wanted to be used by her. She let out a bitter laugh, noting that a guy she used to know would have absolutely loved it if she had come on to him like that. JR looked at her earnestly, stating clearly that he was not that guy. Maggie's expression hardened, her defenses snapping back into place. She told him that he sure the hell wasn't that guy. She suggested tightly that they make some coffee and just talk things over normally. JR sighed, realizing he had pushed too fast. He smiled faintly and joked that he bet she was really good at talking things over. Maggie didn't laugh. She looked at the door and told him goodnight, stating coldly that the party was officially over. JR tried to protest, calling her name, but Maggie opened the door wide and firmly commanded him to get out. JR had no choice but to walk out into the hallway, cursing his lack of finesse. The next morning, the bright California sun did little to ease the tension in the apartment complex. Maggie was sitting by the pool, trying to read a book, when JR walked up, looking apologetic. Before he could speak, a smooth, charming voice interrupted them. It was Ted Goff, wearing a tailored summer suit and sunglasses. He walked over to Maggie's lounge chair, smiling broadly. Maggie looked up and greeted JR coolly, then immediately turned to introduce Ted to him. She told JR that she wanted him to meet one of the most fascinating men she had ever met, introducing him as Ted Goff. JR shook Ted's hand, saying hello and asking how he was doing. Maggie smiled, playing up her admiration for Ted just to make JR jealous. She explained that Ted had just moved into the building as well, owned his own successful import-export business, and traveled all over the world. JR nodded, keeping his professional composure, and remarked that it sounded absolutely terrific. Ted smiled condescendingly, looking at JR, and noted that JR was still a student in law school. He remarked smoothly that the law was a truly fascinating field, provided a person was willing to read all of those heavy books. JR shot back with a dry smile, stating that a person did indeed have to be able to read to succeed in law. Maggie, ignoring the friction, looked at Ted and suggested he go put on his swimsuit and join them in the pool. Ted agreed readily, saying he thought he would do exactly that. As Ted walked away toward the elevators, JR grabbed Maggie's arm gently, asking if he could talk to her for a single second in private. Maggie shrugged, telling Ted she would be right back, and Ted nodded, saying it was no sweat. Once they were out of earshot, JR looked at her directly and asked who that guy truly was. Maggie scoffed, telling him she already told him his name was Ted and joking that he used to play professional football for the Bears. JR rolled his eyes, asking dryly which specific zoo he played for. Maggie told him his comment was cute, but warned him that he didn't have to pull a whole dramatic number just to get back at her for throwing him out of her apartment last night. Before JR could reply, a loud ringing sound echoed from the wall intercom near the pool gate. Maggie looked past him, saying she believed that was her phone or a visitor message. JR watched her walk over to the manager's desk to pick up the house phone. Ted Goff, who had stopped by the ice machine, looked at JR and asked if he wanted a cold beer since he was heading up to his apartment to grab one. JR thanked him, but declined the offer. Over at the phone, Maggie picked up the receiver. Jack's voice crackled through the line, sounding completely panicked. He told her it was him and announced that he was currently at the airport. Maggie gasped, asking what airport he was talking about and demanding to know where he was. Jack confirmed he was in Los Angeles. Maggie told him he was completely crazy for coming here. Ted Goff walked past her at that exact moment, holding a beer cane, and asked again if she wanted one. Maggie covered the receiver, smiling quickly, and told him no thanks, promising she would be right out to join him. Ted nodded and walked away. Once he was gone, Maggie hissed into the phone, telling Jack he was absolutely crazy. She reminded him that she had told him not to come here, and stated fiercely that this plan was just not going to work. Jack insisted over the phone that he absolutely had to see her in person. He threatened that if she was not going to come meet him at a safe location, he was going to come straight over to her apartment building. Maggie panicked, begging him please not to do that. She implored him to just leave her alone, repeating that she had completely made up her mind. Jack softened his tone, telling her that he understood, but pointed out that he had taken a massive amount of dangerous chances just coming to Los Angeles to see her. He begged her to see him and talk to him one last time, stating that she owed him at least that much after everything they had been through. Maggie sighed, her resolve crumbling under the weight of their past. She relented, asking him where exactly they should meet. Jack instructed her to remember that secluded place off Sepulveda and Delgado where they used to go bicycle riding together before the robbery. He told her to meet him near the old abandoned shack. Maggie repeated the location to confirm, stating the shack at Sepulveda and Delgado. Jack warned her to be incredibly careful because even though Wyatt might not be following her himself, he was absolutely certain Wyatt would have someone watching her every move. Maggie promised she would leave the building as soon as she possibly could, and hung up. As she turned around, she bumped right into JR, who was standing there with a serious expression. Maggie snapped, asking what he wanted from her now. JR kept his voice calm, telling her that he really wanted to explain his behavior from last night. He asked if she had to go someplace immediately, or if they could finally sit down and talk like civilized people. Maggie sighed, her anger melting into exhaustion. She told JR that she was actually the one who should be explaining and apologizing, admitting that she was sorry for coming on so strong and snapping at him. JR smiled, asking if he was officially forgiven. Maggie smiled back faintly. JR then suggested, asking if she didn't think it was too aggressive of him, that they go down to the beach together to get some nice dinner. Maggie, needing a clever excuse to slip away to meet Jack, agreed readily. She told him she was just about to suggest the exact same thing. She told him she wanted to go up to her apartment to change her clothes first. JR told her he would be waiting right here for her. As Maggie hurried toward the elevators, JR immediately turned to the manager's desk, picking up the outside line and asking the operator to connect him to the Barnaby Jones agency, demanding to speak with Barnaby Jones immediately. A few minutes later, JR was waiting anxiously by the phone when it rang back. He picked it up, but a woman's voice came through the line. It was Betty, asking what was up. JR was confused, asking what she meant by "what's up," and wondered if Barnaby hadn't just called him back. Betty informed him that Barnaby hadn't called, and asked why he was asking. JR looked toward the elevators and saw Maggie slipping out the back exit into the garage, completely changed into normal clothes. He realized with a shock that she had completely tricked him. He told Betty cursed under his breath, stating that he believed he had just been completely had by Maggie. He told her he had to go and promised to call her right back. An hour later, a fleet of police cars and an ambulance stood with lights flashing at the dusty, desolate crossroads of Sepulveda and Delgado, right near the old abandoned shack. The area was cordoned off with yellow police tape. Barnaby Jones walked past the police barricade, his trench coat fluttering slightly in the wind. He walked up to a seasoned police lieutenant who was overseeing the crime scene. Barnaby greeted him, thanking him for the quick call, and asked what exactly they had on their hands. The lieutenant looked grim, pointing toward a covered body near a bullet-riddled car. He informed Barnaby that Wyatt Perry was officially dead. He added that the other man found at the scene, an individual named Ted Goff, was severely wounded and probably would be dead soon as well. Barnaby looked at the scene, surprised to hear the name. He asked if Goff was known to be one of Perry's regular criminal associates. The lieutenant shook his head, explaining that he wasn't. In fact, he stated that if Barnaby was thinking that the two of them had pulled off that Midtown check-cashing robbery together a year ago, he could forget it. He revealed that during the exact time of the robbery, Ted Goff was taking an extended vacation at the state taxpayer's expense, meaning he was locked up in prison. Barnaby looked at the positioning of the shell casings, pondering the situation. He asked if it was possible that the two men could have done this to each other in a violent dispute. The lieutenant admitted it was not likely. He revealed that they had a local dirt biker as a witness who stated he saw a third car speeding away from the scene immediately after the gunshots. The lieutenant surmised that the driver could have been Perry's missing partner from the robbery. He lamented that they were going to have immense trouble finding him now because Perry was their absolute best lead. Barnaby shook his head slowly, looking at the tire tracks in the dirt. He told the lieutenant that he didn't think so, noting that there was still one living person who could successfully identify the shooter. He stated clearly that that person was Maggie Revell. Back at the apartment complex courtyard, JR was pacing back and forth anxiously when Maggie finally walked through the front gates. She looked pale, her eyes wide with shock and horror, her hands trembling violently. JR rushed over to her, his face filled with genuine worry. He told her he was just coming to look for her and asked what on earth had happened to her. Maggie stumbled slightly, trying to avoid his eyes. She claimed that she had gotten an urgent phone call and had an emergency where she absolutely had to go meet an old friend. JR looked at her sternly, asking who the friend was. Maggie tried to brush it off, telling him he wouldn't know him. She saw the intense look in JR's eyes and tried to force a light tone, telling him it was nothing like what he was thinking and begging him not to be jealous. JR's voice lost all its playful, casual warmth, replaced by the sharp gravity of a professional investigator. He told her firmly that he wasn't jealous at all. He was incredibly worried about her safety. Maggie backed away, her defensive walls going right back up. She told him she didn't think she liked the way this conversation was going, and she didn't like the way he was talking to her right now. JR stepped closer, his expression grim. He told her that he didn't like the way she was trying to shine him on and lie to his face. He revealed what he knew, stating fiercely that she had made that fake phone call and trick earlier just to get him out of the way so she could secretly go meet her boyfriend. He asked her directly if she had finally told the boyfriend where he could find the missing $400,000. Maggie gasped, looking at him with sudden horror. She backed up, realizing he knew too much. She accused him of looking for Wyatt, assuming he was another criminal trying to get close to her just so she would lead him straight to Jack. JR reached out, grabbing her arm gently but firmly, telling her to just keep her voice down. He noted that Jack was officially his first name, confirming he now knew who the boyfriend was. Maggie struggled against his grip, demanding to know who he truly was. JR guided her gently toward a secluded bench and told her to sit down. He looked into her eyes with absolute sincerity, telling her that he was someone who was genuinely trying to help her. He admitted that she was partially right. He did take that neighboring apartment specifically to get close to her. He revealed the truth, stating clearly that he was working for Barnaby Jones' investigations. Maggie looked at him with deep betrayal, shaking her head. She called him a spectacular actor and bitingly stated that he was just trying to use her like everybody else in her life. JR shook his head vigorously, denying it completely. He told her she was entirely wrong about his intentions. He reminded her that he had a perfect chance to use her and take advantage of her the night before when she was vulnerable and wanted him to stay, but he wouldn't do it because he respected her. He argued that that moral choice made him just a little bit different from this Jack character who had selfishly let her spend a whole miserable year in jail to protect his own skin. He told her earnestly that whether she believed it or not, Barnaby Jones was truly trying to save her life. He begged her to just tell them who Jack was so they could find him before it was too late. Maggie broke down, burying her face in her hands. She wept quietly, sobbing that she couldn't do it. JR sighed gently, asking if she was honestly still hung up on this dangerous guy after everything he had done to her. Maggie shook her head, her voice broken. She admitted that she didn't know anymore, and she didn't know about anything in her life anymore. JR patted her shoulder comfortingly, telling her he was entirely on her side. Maggie looked up at him with tear-filled eyes, begging him to just leave her alone for a little while so she could think. Before JR could answer, Mr. Porter hurried out of the lobby, looking frantic. He called out to JR, telling him there was an urgent long-distance phone call for him on the line from a man named Barnaby, who stated it was an absolute emergency. JR nodded to Maggie and ran toward the lobby phone. A short while later, Barnaby Jones arrived at the apartment complex, meeting JR in the quiet management office. Barnaby was recounting what the police had found at the Crossroads shack. He remarked that it must have been a truly spectacular and violent shootout based on the exact way the ballistics boys had reconstructed the scene. He wondered aloud if Maggie had actually arrived in time to see the entire thing happen. JR shook his head, explaining that she was incredibly upset and shaken when she came back to the building. He stated his theory, believing that it was a violent falling out over the stolen money. He reasoned that if the boyfriend didn't have the full $400,000 before, he certainly had it now after eliminating Wyatt Perry and wounding Ted Goff. He reminded Barnaby that Jack was definitely the boyfriend's first name, as Maggie had let that much slip during their argument. He expressed his deep fear that since this Jack had successfully eliminated Wyatt Perry, he might try to eliminate Maggie next to ensure her silence. Barnaby nodded slowly, agreeing with the grim assessment. However, JR pointed out that Maggie was currently really down on this guy and furious with him, stating he didn't think she would ever willingly go with him anywhere now. Barnaby looked at the young man with the wisdom of a seasoned investigator. He asked J.R. dryly if he had ever in his life heard of a woman changing her mind when it came to a man she loved. J.R. paused, realizing the truth in his words, and admitted he guessed Barnaby was right. He added fervently that he truly hoped Barnaby was wrong in this specific case. Barnaby clapped him on the shoulder, giving a strict order not to let Maggie out of his sight for a single second, announcing that he was on his way over to secure the perimeter. Upstairs in Jane Marshall's apartment, the shadows were lengthening as evening approached. Maggie was pacing the living room, her heart pounding in her chest. Suddenly, the balcony door clicked open, and a man slipped inside, quickly locking the glass behind him. Maggie gasped, spinning around. It was Jack. He looked disheveled, his clothes stained with dirt, his eyes wild and desperate. Maggie breathed his name, backing away in shock. She told him that she thought he was dead, explaining that she had gone to the shack, saw the ambulance, and saw the heavy police presence. Jack stepped forward, shaking his head frantically. He claimed that he didn't know how they did it, but Wyatt and that other guy had somehow set him up in a terrible trap. He claimed that they almost got him too during the shootout. He then looked at her with sudden suspicion, asking why she had come to the shack in the first place after he had explicitly told her not to come. Maggie looked at him, her voice trembling. She told him that despite everything, she was worried about him. Jack's expression softened into a deceptive warmth. He reached out, telling her that she knew exactly how he felt about her, and she couldn't keep him away. He pulled her into a tight embrace, murmuring that it felt incredibly good and felt just like being home. He told her firmly that he wanted her to come with him right now, announcing that his getaway car was hidden downstairs in the parking garage. Maggie found a sudden surge of strength and pushed him away firmly. She stood her ground and told him flatly that she was not going with him. Jack blinked, completely stunned. He asked what the matter was, saying he didn't understand her behavior, and asked fiercely if she didn't love him anymore. Maggie looked at him with clear, unclouded eyes. She told him yes, she loved him once, but she now knew with absolute certainty that this relationship was never going to work out. She repeated that being with him meant nothing but endless trouble and danger for the rest of her life. Jack's warmth vanished instantly, replaced by a cold, controlling anger. He stepped closer, his voice dropping into a harsh threat. He told her that a simple no was her answer to absolutely everything lately. He snapped that you couldn't just talk someone into doing what you wanted. Sometimes you had to force them. Maggie looked at him, seeing his true nature for the very first time. Jack realized he had shown too much of his dark side and quickly tried to backpedal. He looked apologetic, telling her he was sorry and that he didn't mean to say that, promising her that he would never do it or speak to her that way again. Maggie let out a cold, bitter laugh. She told him he was damn right he wouldn't do it again. She looked at him with absolute disdain, telling him that through this entire ordeal, she had finally found out that there was another, completely different kind of man in the world. She described that new kind of man as someone who was gentle, kind, and respectful, but who could still be a real, strong man. Jack's face twisted with jealous rage. He realized she was talking about JR. He lunged forward, grabbing her arm roughly, and ordered her to get in the car immediately. Maggie struggled against his grip, screaming that she would never turn him into the police, and asking if he didn't know that about her. She swore she would never do anything to hurt him, but insisted that things had completely changed between them. Jack pulled her toward the door, demanding to know what things could have possibly changed. Maggie, desperate to break his emotional hold on her, revealed the ultimate truth. She told him that his cousin Ginger and she had talked, and she knew everything. She stated clearly that Jack and Ginger had been having a secret affair behind her back the entire time. Jack stopped in his tracks, his eyes widening with shock. He stammered, trying to explain that it just happened between them while she was locked away in prison. He tightened his grip on her wrist, his voice turning deadly, and commanded her again to get in the car. Maggie stood completely still, looking him right in the eye with immense bravery. She told him calmly that if he wanted her to go, he was going to have to kill her right here in this apartment. Jack raised his hand in a blind fury, growling that killing her was completely okay with him. Suddenly, The front door was kicked open with a resounding crash. JR stood in the doorway, his face filled with righteous anger. Before Jack could react, JR lunged across the room, tackling Jack away from Maggie. The two men hit the floor heavily, wrestling for control. Jack swung a wild punch, but JR ducked smoothly, delivering a powerful blow straight to Jack's jaw that sent him crashing against the coffee table, completely dazed and defeated. JR stood over him, breathing heavily, making sure Jack was no longer a threat. He turned to Maggie immediately, his voice filled with deep concern, and asked if she was completely okay. Maggie nodded, catching her breath, and looked at JR with immense gratitude and admiration. Just then, Barnaby Jones walked calmly through the shattered doorway, followed closely by two police officers who immediately moved in to handcuff the groggy Jack. Barnaby looked around the room, a faint, proud smile playing on his weathered face. He looked at JR and remarked dryly that the young man seemed to have the entire situation well in hand. JR smiled smoothly, adjusting his shirt jacket, and joked that he guessed he did have everything under control at that exact point, or at least maybe he did. Barnaby turned to Maggie, his tone gentle and supportive. He informed her that she would unfortunately have to face some formal legal charges regarding her initial silence and minor involvement, but he assured her warmly that they could easily find her an exceptionally good defense lawyer in the city. He looked over at JR with a twinkle in his eye, asking if JR happened to know a good legal mind, perhaps a certain smart fellow named Jedediah. JR laughed, nodding toward Barnaby, and stated that he thought they could definitely work something out together. Barnaby then shared some excellent news, revealing that the Utah State Police had just successfully picked up Ginger in Salt Lake City, recovering a massive $365,000 of the stolen Midtown money in her possession. Barnaby concluded contentedly that he figured that brilliant bust pretty well closes up the book on this entire case. JR looked at Maggie, his eyes filled with warmth, and noted softly that it closed the book in more than just one way. A few days later, the afternoon sun was shining brightly as Maggie stood by her car in the courtyard, packing the last of her belongings into the trunk. The nightmare was completely over, and a fresh start was on the horizon. JR walked out to meet her, carrying her colorful, completed tiger latchhook rug in his hands. Maggie smiled warmly as he handed it to her. She looked around the beautiful courtyard and noted that she thought it was an exceptionally good idea for her to move to a brand new place city. She explained that while Jane had kindly offered to let her stay on in her apartment indefinitely, she felt this specific building simply held too many bad, painful memories for her. JR stepped closer, his smile gentle, and reminded her softly that the building didn't hold entirely bad memories. Maggie looked up at him, her eyes bright with a beautiful, positive emotion. She smiled fully and agreed, stating that it was true. They were not all bad memories. She looked at him intently, calling him by his name, JR, and asked if he remembered what he had said before about just letting things happen naturally between people. JR smiled smoothly, his heart beating a little faster, and confirmed that he remembered. Maggie stepped into his arms, leaning against him, and whispered happily that she thought a beautiful new beginning had just happened.